The following is a deep dive podcast generated by Notebook LM based on content from my upcoming book. In this podcast, we answer this question: how can sales teams scale the creation of personalized, compelling ROI calculators for every client without losing the personal touch or overwhelming their top value engineers? And now, let's listen to the podcast.
All right, so let's dive right in. We're tackling how to really level up in enterprise tech sales. And from the looks of it, you've been deep in the trenches with value selling ROI calculators.
You got your finger on the pulse, that's for sure.
But let's be real, building those super tailored ROI calculators, those are great for, reeling in that one huge client. But how do you actually use that same approach, that same detail for every single prospect without, I don't know, turning into some spreadsheet monster?
You're hitting on a pain point a lot of us feel, even seasoned pros. But there might be a solution you haven't considered, and it's hiding in plain sight.
Okay, get ready for it. We're talking Tesla.
Yeah, that Tesla.
Now, before you think we're jumping the shark here, trust me, Tesla's journey has a surprising lesson about scaling sales. And it comes down to this: design is easy, manufacturing is hard. That's Elon Musk, straight from the horse's mouth, talking about one of Tesla's biggest hurdles: scaling up production, specifically for the Model 3. Designing a super sleek electric car, that's one thing, but churning them out like clockwork for a massive market, that's where the real challenge lies.
They even had to build assembly lines and tents just to meet demand.
Production hell, Musk called it. But all in building cars, closing deals, how do those two things even relate?
The analogy is stronger than you might think. Imagine you've poured your heart into building the perfect ROI calculator for a major client. That's Tesla, hand-building that flawless Model 3 prototype. It's impressive, it works, but it's not a growth strategy.
Right, so how do we bridge that gap?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's the problem a lot of salespeople bump into. Because creating a truly customized, compelling business case for every single lead, well, that eats up time like crazy.
It's not exactly a recipe for efficiency, is it?
Exactly. It's not scalable, and you risk burning out your most valuable players, your
Yeah.
value engineers.
And for anyone listening who maybe isn't knee-deep in the sales world every day, can you quickly explain what a value engineer actually does?
Of course, think of them as your secret weapon throughout the sales process. Value engineers, they dig into the nitty-gritty data, analyze a client's needs, and then translate all of that into a story, a compelling narrative that shows the real tangible value your solution delivers.
They're the ones building those ROI calculators, the ones crafting the financial argument that makes a client say, all right, you convince me.
You got it.
But like you said, having them do that manually for every single prospect,
Yeah, that's asking for trouble.
it's not sustainable.
And it misses opportunities. The real answer here is not just automation, but intelligent automation.
Intelligent automation. Okay, now that sounds like we're wading into some pretty futuristic stuff, but I have a feeling it's a lot more down to earth than it sounds.
It absolutely is. Let's bring it back to Tesla, right? Instead of just building one perfect Model 3, they created an entire system, a factory that pumps out thousands, and each one tailored to what the customer wants. That's the power we're talking about here. Intelligent automation for sales.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture. So instead of building those individual business cases by hand, we're talking about a system, a business case factory, and it's all powered by data. I like where this is going.
You've got it. It's all about using technology to build a system, takes in the client's data, could be their industry, their company size, their pain points, and uses all of that to automatically generate personalized business cases at scale.
So we're moving beyond those generic cookie-cutter templates that make clients feel like, just another number.
Exactly. This is about a system that adapts on the fly and generates a business case as unique as the client is. In fact, I think in your research, you even highlighted this idea of mail merge on steroids.
Ah, yeah, that would got a laugh out of me. Okay, so for our listeners who might be picturing a spreadsheet hitting the gym right now, help us understand what that actually means.
So it's more than just swapping out names and company names. We're talking about a system that can swap out entire sections, data points, value propositions, you name it, based on what we know about that specific client.
Okay, so now this is starting to sound less like something out of a movie and more like, well, the future of sales. But can you paint a picture for me? How does this actually work in the real world, like in a sales meeting?
So let's say you're face-to-face with a potential client, laptop open, and with a couple clicks, boom, you've got a personalized ROI calculator right there on the screen. But here's the kicker. It's not just a static spreadsheet. It's pulling in real-time data, maybe even industry benchmarks, competitor
Now that's
analysis.
what I'm talking about. That's impressive. I bet clients are blown away by that level of personalization and insight.
You're right, it makes a difference. And not to mention, think of all the time you're saving. No more going back and forth with revisions, no more manual data entry. It streamlines the entire sales process.
And what about the value this unlocks for your team? I mean, your value engineers, they're not bogged down with these tedious tasks, so they can really focus on strategy, maybe refining the value selling process, digging into even deeper insights.
Exactly, you're getting it. This isn't just about automation for the sake of it. It's about empowering your team to do their best work and really deliver more value to clients. And the best part, this isn't just for the big guys. Smaller businesses, they can use these same tools, these same strategies, and gain a real advantage.
So we're really giving every salesperson the tools to be their own mini Tesla, in a way.
Kind of, yeah. Except instead of building cars, they're building these persuasive, data-driven business cases and those close deals. But going back to Tesla, remember, it wasn't just about a cool car, it was about their system. Building that manufacturing system that could handle that kind of scale, that's what made the difference.
Okay, now it's really clicking. So it's more than just knowing the ins and outs of value selling. It's about having a system in place that helps me deliver that value every time, no matter how many deals are on my plate.
Now you're thinking like a pro. And this is a question worth asking yourself. If Tesla's advantage is their manufacturing system, what's your advantage going to be as a salesperson? What makes you stand out?
It's a great question to think about.
Yeah.
And I'm betting it's bigger than just, I know my product or I've got a killer pitch.
You got it. It goes deeper. It's about having that system, that process that lets you identify the value, put a number on it, and then communicate that value clearly, no matter who the client is, no matter the deal size.
So we've covered a ton of ground today, from Elon Musk's factory lines all the way to, well, the future of sales. If there's one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember, what would it be?
Here it is. Buyers today, they're drowning in information. So being able to deliver that personalized value and do it at scale, that's not just a bonus anymore, it's essential. It's how you stand out, build trust, and ultimately how you close deals. And it all starts with building that business case factory we talked about.
I love that. It's not about just working harder, it's about working smarter. So for everyone listening out there ready to crush those sales goals, remember, design is important, but scaling that personalized touch, that's what will set you apart. That's all for this Deep Talk. Thanks for joining us.
So there it is. What do you think? To recap, we covered the challenge of scaling custom ROI calculators, why automation is essential for consistency and efficiency, and how business case automation frees value engineers for high-impact work. Number 1. The challenge of scaling custom ROI calculators. Building a custom ROI calculator for a big client is one thing, but delivering that same personalized experience for every account is far harder. Using Elon Musk's analogy about Tesla, we discussed how scaling isn't just a matter of repeating a process. It's about creating a reliable production line for value-selling tools that can serve all clients effectively. Number 2, why automation is essential for consistency and efficiency. To scale without overwhelming your team, automation is critical. Automated, data-driven systems allow sales teams to input the specific context of each opportunity, generating customized business cases that still feel personal. This automation is key to delivering the same high-quality value-selling experience to all clients, regardless of their size. And number 3, how business case automation frees value engineers for high-impact work. Manually building each business case is resource-intensive and risks putting skilled value engineers in spreadsheet hell. Automating this process not only scales delivery, but also frees up your top talent to focus on strategic work, driving more impactful results across the sales pipeline. This is the Communicating Value Podcast. My name is Paul. I'm the Value Coach. And thanks, once again, for joining.